Northern Laos is very, very hilly. It's made out of this limestone karst, very steep valleys with the road network on the bottom and very windy. And so we'd fly basically about the height of the top of the mountains down these valleys, taking pictures of whatever was there. And that was the altitude that was prime for our cameras at the airspeed that we had to fly, which was about 500 miles an hour, 480 knots, to keep from getting shot down. So we descend down into the area, and on our first run, as we're just going through what we call Run for the Roses, which was kind of run the whole route network that went from northern Vietnam into the PDJ, the Plains Jars. We saw what looked like an SA-2 transporter erector launcher pulling off the side of the road with all his equipment and a whole bunch of anti-aircraft equipment with them, guns. Well, an SA-2 is about the size of a telephone pole, and it can really ruin your day in a heartbeat. We didn't get a good picture, so we decided that we'd do a maneuver we call a whifferdille, and by exchanging our airspeed for altitude so that we could come right back down in the same direction we had just left, a tight turn at the top, and get another picture as we came across. Well, it was when we were at this very apex of our maneuver, we looked down, we're upside down, and we can see the guns opening up, and they're starting to shoot, and they're ZSU 23-7s. The bullet's about a foot long, and they shoot a lot of them really quick, twin barrels. As we are at the apex, all of a sudden, we are violently slammed sideways. And we can tell we've been hit. And we're out of control. We're in a flat, upside-down spin. And so I asked Bob, should we bail out? Well, he knows that if we bail out now, we're going to get punched into the ground. So he says, no, wait a minute, let me try something. I don't know what he did, but somehow he managed to get our airplane upright, and now we're in a flat spin, upright spin, going straight down. And so he says, okay, go ahead and eject, very calmly. So I reach for my ejection handles, which are behind me, but because I'm under negative G going down, they're way back here and I can't reach them. So I reach down between my legs for the lower handle, but it's too far away too. Just then, Bob initiates the ejection, and I'm slammed into my seat. My canopy blows off, and I can see that just above the canopy rail, we're already entering the trees. Well, I go up with as much velocity as the airplane is going down. Consequently, I don't get any air time at all. The parachute just catches on the top of the trees with the smoking, exploding RF-4 right here down beside me. Now, when I got caught in the canopy with my parachute, it caused my seat to separate from me, and it's a very heavy piece of equipment, and it made a chimney down through the trees, which turned out to be a good thing, but not at the moment, because all the fire and smoke was coming up through this chimney and engulfing me. Along with that, all the birds and the bugs and everything else was coming up through this hole too. And I knew I had to get out of the tree and away from the fire and the smoke. So I pulled out my tree lowering device, which is right behind my back, and I hooked it up so I could descend down out of this predicament I'm in. Unfortunately, I can't see. I'm blind because of the smoke. I hook it up upside down. It's designed so that when you release your harness, then you can lower yourself very easily. I can't. As soon as I release my harness, I go zipping down about 75 feet free fall through this chimney. My finger gets stuck right here in the device at my chest. I have to do a one-arm pull-up to work it free and then work myself to the ground. I use almost the full length of cord to get to the ground, so I was probably about 150 feet in the air. I get on the ground. The airplane's still burning over here, but I'm okay, and I know that I've got to calm down. So one of the things we learned in survival training was always drink some water. That'll calm you down. So I pull out my flask, I start to drink some water, and all of a sudden the airplane right down below me on this very steep hillside starts to explode and cook off. So I take off up the mountain,